of a segment of 60 Minutes last Sunday. Correspondent Steve Croft was in Ohio ahead of the state's primary and interviewed both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama.
One of the things that we found in southern Ohio, not widespread, but something that popped up on our radar screen all the time, people talking about it, this idea that you're a Muslim.
Right. Did you correct them, Steve?
I did correct them.
There you go.
Where's it coming from?
You know, this has been a systematic email smear campaign that's been going on since actually very early in this campaign. Clearly, it's a deliberate effort by some group or somebody to generate this rumor. I have never been a Muslim. I'm not a Muslim. These emails are obviously not just offensive to me, somebody who's a devout Christian who's been going to the same church for the last 20 years, but it's also offensive to Muslims because it plays into, obviously, a certain fear-mongering there.
It happened again last week when this photo of Obama in ceremonial African tribal dress during a visit to Kenya was featured prominently on the internet and attributed to people in the Clinton campaign. Senator Clinton disavowed any knowledge of it.
I mean, you don't believe that Senator Obama's a Muslim?
Of course not. I mean, that's, you know, that there is no basis for that. You know, I take him on the basis of what he says, and, you know, there isn't any reason to doubt that.
And you said you take Senator Obama at his word that he's not a Muslim. You don't believe that he's a Muslim?
No, why would I? There's no,
right?
No, there is nothing to base that on, as far as I know.
It's just scurrilous.
Look, I have been the target of so many ridiculous rumors. I have a great deal of sympathy for anybody who gets, you know, smeared with the kind of rumors that go on all the time.
Sarah Posner, that was a clip from 60 Minutes. Your response?
Well, you know, it's obvious that what's going on with these smears of Obama being a Muslim is that it's unacceptable to be a Muslim. There's something wrong with being a Muslim. And there's all this talk about wanting to hear more about faith from the candidates, but it's clear that people want to hear more about the candidate's Christian faith. I mean, the fact that Obama has to defend himself from being a Muslim is crazy. I mean, because, you know, first of all, he's not a Muslim, so it's a lie. But the fact that it would besmirch his reputation if he were a Muslim just shows how Christian-centered the desire to hear about candidates' faith is.
We're talking to Sarah Posner, investigative journalist, is author of the new book, God's Prophets, that's Profits, Faith, Fraud, and the Republican Crusade for Values Voters. Ultimately, where do you see religion fitting into the 2008 race, where it's going?
Well, I think what you're going to see in the general election is you're going to see somebody like Huckabee or possibly other people in combination with Huckabee trying to rally the conservative evangelical vote around McCain, despite his dodgy history with the Christian right. You're also going to see an emergence of a more centrist evangelical movement that may back the Republican and may back the Democrat, and you're going to see whoever the Democratic nominee is talking about their faith on the campaign trail, and you will also see the Christian right questioning the Christian credentials of whoever the Democratic candidate is, whether it's Barack Obama and the fact that they consider his UCC congregation to be liberal and out there and out of the mainstream of Christianity, or whether, you know, Hillary Clinton's Christian credentials measure up to their conservative evangelical standards. You will hear a lot of talk of religion on the campaign trail.
Finally, Sarah Posner, John McCain continuing to embrace John Hagee, not only around some of these issues that we've discussed, but his comments about homosexuals, about why Hurricane Katrina happened, that it was punishment for the people of New Orleans, his comments about Catholicism.
Yeah, I think that McCain realizes that despite the outrageousness of these comments, that Hagee has a huge following, and there are a lot of Americans who think nothing of comments like that, who also, like Hagee, see the world through the prism of spiritual warfare and believe that there are godly forces battling satanic forces in every human transaction. Now, a lot of people who still believe those things might not be comfortable with some of the extreme statements Hagee has made about any of the groups that you've mentioned. But the fact that McCain has not stepped away from Hagee and has not, as in Tim Russert's words, rejected and denounced his endorsement shows that McCain really knows that someone like Hagee can help bring him votes in the general election, and was hoping that he would bring him votes in the Texas primary as well.
I want to thank you for being with us. Sarah Posner is author of God's Prophets, Faith, Fraud, and the Republican Crusade for Values Voters. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. We'll be back in a minute.